I didn't know about this, but apparently some people caught that Babylon's Fall
Oh man!
had a bunch of gear in it that people are like, is this just FF14 gear?
And the answer is yes, it absolutely is.
And then there was some screenshots of like literally armor being just dumped right in. And apparently this got a response from Squeenix, specifically coming out to say that Yoshida offered his help with existing gear and emote assets in Babylon's Fall. And essentially, he offered to help them to give them stuff that they could use in Babylon's Fall, and they said, yes, please.
Yeah.
And the reason why it seemed like all of the majority of the gear is all just straight up lifted from FF14 is because a lot of it is starting gear, and the demo that people played didn't have people weren't going to see the mid-range gear, which is where the original stuff comes in. So the closed beta showed off most of the asset.
I don't think anybody thought that it was stolen or that non-official because Square Enix is the publisher.
No, but it is just a question mark of like,
it is just
like why
weird.
is it just literally the same shit?
This is a good way to segue into it. I know some people who played Babylon's Fall, the beta period or the playtest. I don't know what the fuck it was called.
CBT.
That game sounds terrible.
Whoa, no.
I don't know if you remember when they showed it off for the second time.
Yes.
And it looked like garbage. Apparently, it plays like garbage.
The second time they showed off more combat and more air comboing things. And it seemed like they were improving the combat at the very least over what they first showed off.
Like, Platinum opened up a studio specifically to make live service games, and this as their first attempt is dire.
Yeah. What they showed off in June looked better than what they showed off until 2019.
Well, I'm telling you, the very first thing I saw was people going, wow, I love an action game from Platinum where I just smash on an enemy that doesn't look like it's taking any damage, and I'm just bored.
Oh, my kryptonite. Yeah. Okay, that'll kill me. I can't handle that. I can't handle doing wild shit on something that stands there and has a number popping out of it.
It looks like complete garbage. Like it looks like trash. Like this might kill Platinum outright.
Oh man. Well, not before the Hero game.
They made a whole studio for this fucking thing.
Hold up. What about the Hero trilogy?
Also, I need to really point out very strongly, I'm highly familiar with the gear that we're talking about that got, sent over. It's a bad sign. FF14 is a game running on spaghetti. Do you remember what I was talking about technical debt earlier? They have been astonishingly forward in the FF14 development that they are dealing with mountains of technical debt in FF14. It's a miracle that game runs at all, right? All the gear that is in 14 that they kicked over down to Babylon's Fall looks way, way shittier in Babylon's Fall, which is ostensibly a new game.
I didn't even
It looks like crap.
Is there
yeah, there's photos.
I was gonna say, are there streams of the CBT? Or
I did not see any streams.
Embargoed.
I don't think you were allowed to do it.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. Mia played it? Oh, apparently. Hold on.
I'm seeing. Oh, here we go. 12 minutes of closed beta gameplay. Yeah. Okay. No, there's a couple of and this is from about 2 weeks ago. So there's.
She did a. Can I get a VOD? How far back was that? That was probably a while ago, right? Oh, and Gigaboots also covered it. Okay, so yeah, people.
Yeah, there's a couple videos here I can see.
So yeah, if you want to go check out footage of Babylon's Fall, you can check out Gigaboots and Meabyte. And apparently that looks like trash. I'm just gonna keep scrolling until I find something. I can't find anything. Fuck.
God damn it. All right.
Gigaboots did an hours long stream and they melted. Yeah, they love playing garbage for long periods. I don't know what's wrong with them.
Oh, Platinum. Okay.
You know, Platinum games felt really good, and then the
Well, time and money are things.
yeah.
There's a sentence. Like,
Astral Chain was pretty good. I liked Astral Chain.
Astral Chain was pretty good. Bayonetta 3 is probably gonna be pretty good.
But I will say there's definitely some Platinum games that have lost their luster.
I will still say that there's fun parts to Transformers and Korra.
I think Transformers is way better than Korra.
Yeah. We don't talk about Ninja Turtles, but I will say that there's stuff to see in those too. Okay. All right. Damn.
Don't worry, guys. Platinum's here to save us from the live service disaster that is Outriders. You know, as somebody who plays Square Enix's biggest and most successful live service game, watching them constantly go, but what if we had another live service game, and dumping millions and millions of dollars into them only for them to completely crash and burn is pretty frustrating.
I think we've talked about this. And I think I've said it, but I was there when the moment happened where the emails went out and the discussions occurred that were essentially like, gas, baby, all pedal to the metal. We're going full gas. And the idea of like burning through a franchise in the quest for a successful gas game, whether it's Sleeping Dogs,
they have one.
Whether it's Sleeping Dogs, whether it's Nosgoth, because that's what we're gonna call it, whether it's Tomb Raider, whatever the case might be, the proposition of the money you can make on that is so high that they're not gonna stop. Even if they have one, there's always another one in the works. Because the it's too much. It's too profitable.
Yeah, that's Nosgoth, Outriders, and probably Babylon's Fall are totally going to make so much profit. Avengers 2.
Yep.
Look at all that profit they're making.
Yep. Absolutely. It's gambler's fallacy practically. Like, just looking at the potential gains is too addictive. They can't stop. And I remember seeing what essentially felt like we're grabbing the steering wheel and swerving violently off the fucking to the exit ramp. If you've seen that, with the car that swerves towards gas, man. Everything that's not gas
frustrating.
Needs to implement gas or think about how we can start using gas mentality in games that were not originally designed with gas as at the core.
It's just like, it's interesting because the very last interview that Yoshi P did, he talked about now that the company has acknowledged FF14's success, like, we have all the resources we need, something like that, right? And it's fascinating because, like, the game's been out for 8 years now, and like there were definitely periods in which they would say, like, yes, we are aware this, but we don't have the staff or resources to take care of that feature. We're very sorry. And then like Square Enix would put out like a fucking like earnings report that shows off that like FF14 literally paid for like 5 games to crash and burn.
Of course, FF14 will continue to pay for all this wild shit.
And it's like, why don't you just put some money back into that? They've clearly put some money back into that, and Walker has a lot more going on than usual.
Yeah, and also and like, but hold on, like FF7 remake will drop and people will be like, "Fuck yeah, here, buy this," you know.
Yeah.
But no, 14 will continue to pay for these fucking blackjack gambles on a live service game because holy shit, we stand to make so much if the fan base that loves Legacy of Kain is down to pay money on a regular basis for Legacy of Kain related content.
That might have been the actual stupidest one I've ever seen from any company on like a misread of what like a group of people actually want.
They want this franchise back. They're willing to pay for it on a monthly basis. Let's get them.
Like they could have literally gone and spoken to 5 random people and would have all got completely universal answers of like, I am not interested in that.
You liked Sleeping Dogs.
I did.
You liked Wei Shen, motherfucker. Who are you?
I did. That's true.
So then you will be willing to pay for the Chinatown Wars on a monthly basis for more Sleeping Dogs content.
No, that's not true.
And if we take every potential purchase of Sleeping Dogs and say that number of people on a monthly basis as income, like
yeah, it's a bunch of producers trying to justify their existence. I was just reading up on a thread that was like Mel Brooks. Stories about Mel Brooks are coming out. I think he's got a book coming out. But Mel Brooks' biggest piece of advice with dealing with the studio, which is totally appropriate, is him talking to the studio people about Blazing Saddles and how the head of the studio tells him, I don't like Gene Wilder. Get rid of him. I don't want him in the movie. I don't think he's a good pick. And you know what Mel Brooks' solution to that? It was absolutely great. He's gone. And then he just leaves and doesn't do anything. Like every single time he would show a cut of Blazing Saddles, they would tell him all this shit to cut. It's like, absolutely, I'm writing it down. We're going to cut that. That's going to be gone. And he would throw the piece of paper out on the way out of the fucking room.
That's
and they
one
would
way.
They would fucking forget because these types of fucking idiots just see something and they go, what if I made this? Or what if I changed this? Or what if I... The only time I can ever think of that working in my life is when they showed Anthem to John Riccatello, and he said, that flying shit's pretty good. You should focus on that. And he was right, because that was the only thing anyone liked about Anthem.
1,000,000%.
Or was it Patrick Soderlund? Whatever, it doesn't matter. But like the one EA guy who said, yeah, that flying shit seems cool.
So the method, that's like... I used to, like, that's brilliant, because, like, here I'm looking at the South Park method, where they get around censors by putting in jokes that are way too far, clearly, obviously going to get cut, and then they take the bite and the bait and say, you got to get that out, and they're like, okay, cool, so that the regular shit is left alone, because the contrast is so insane.
You remember Battle Chess back in the early 90s?
Yeah, okay.
So Battle Chess was a game. It was just a chess game, but it had fancy animations of the pieces killing each other.
Lightning strikes and shit.
It was really simple. It was a lot of fun. People liked it.
Yeah.
The people working on that knew that their producer was the kind of guy who every single fucking time they showed him anything, something had to change so that he would, have a job.
Oh,
what they did was they put a duck that just flew around the queen's head 24 like the whole time. It looked like shit. And they showed him the fucking gold master. He's like, yeah, it looks great. Just cut the duck. And sure enough, there's their game.
Yep. You got to hand him something to change. Got to get the stamp of approval, right? Like writer punch-ups on scripts. You got to punch it up. The script is fine. It doesn't need a punch-up. But if I don't change something, they won't hire me and pay me again for more punch-ups.
Because I didn't do anything.
I got to get a credit here. Time to punch it up, even though it doesn't need one.
It's how a bunch of movies get fucked up.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
you
2, 3, 4 punch-ups.
You get a movie, you get an animated show, and in some cases you get a game that has voice talent. And the number one fuck up, I saw some voice actors complaining about this the other day, where the fucking project's a go, everything's a go. something happens to the project, right? Like, there's money problems or whatever. Gets kicked over, gets delayed, gets kicked down the street to a new producer or like a slightly different top executive team. First thing, well, we want to hire our own people. Everybody's casting gets thrown in the dirt. Completely rehire every single fucking role for no reason,
for nothing at all,
for no gain.
Yeah. No, it's just the worst. Shout outs to the Austin Powers coffee diarrhea scene, because the existence of that scene where he drinks a cup of what he thinks is coffee, but it turns out it's poop.
Yeah.
The implication of that allows everyone who gets censored in a movie to go, you allowed Austin Powers to sip shit.
Yeah.
So our joke is not as far as that. And everyone's got to go, well, fuck, that's true.
Now, this is just something I was reading up on a Twitter thread earlier today, so take it with a grain of salt. But supposedly the Alfred Hitchcock was sending in fucking Psycho to the MPAA for ratings in films. And they were like, fucking no, this is the most violent movie. Like, get the fuck out of here. And he just kept sending in the same cut over and over and over until they got used to the amount of violence and let it through.
Oh, man. Those stories, dude. Yeah. I've said it before. The Walking Dead, the comic, right?
Yeah.
Not even before the show, when it was just the comic. Walking Dead, it's like, okay, so I got a pitch, right? I think it was like IDW or whatever, and it's like, yeah, okay, so it's a zombie story, post-apocalyptic. We're gonna tell stories about these characters, and it's gonna be interesting. Yeah. And they're like, and he's like, and that's the pitch, and they're like, yeah, no. And he's like, and then you find out that the zombies are actually it's aliens that are behind the whole thing. And at first we start out with like a hint of it, but you don't know where it comes from. And then the threat of it being zombies becomes a preparation for a whole all-out invasion war. And multiple books in, we build up to it, and then you never even realize it was sci-fi the whole time. You thought it was just a zombie story, and they're like, abso-fucking-lutely, green like that shit.
And then
5 books in, hey, when are we gonna get to the? Yeah, no, that wasn't real. I lied.
No,
okay, cool.
No, I'm a liar. You're an idiot.
We're never getting to the aliens, are we? Nope, we're not. Okay, well, it's selling, so. Thank you.
I think the producers that somehow like nepotism their way into this shit without knowing a single goddamn thing about anything are like literally the curse of every entertainment industry. Like, they're the absolute goddamn worst. They're like, if you could point to a single reason why everything sucks shit, it's like this type of person that happens to always be around. But I think the best one ever, and it's much too long of a story to tell here. It's Kevin Smith describing his fucking Superman pitch.
Wild West.
And how the fucking producer that he had to go to his house to talk to him for some reason just kept becoming obsessed with a giant mechanical spider being the ending of the fucking Superman movie. Only for Smith to back off on it. And just a few years later, see that Wild Wild West is coming out under the same producer, and fucking sure enough, there's a giant mechanical spider at the end of the movie.
Doors swing open.
Because this guy is just like every single fucking movie anyone talked to him about was like, what if there was a big mechanical spider at the end?
So it's become a whole like thing now with multiple talks and takes and podcasts and such. But the original First Evening with Kevin Smith, I think, is where that story was told. And yeah, it's unbelievable. It is just an absolute walk into the uselessness of these producer roles, and the just wanting to get their name stamped on the thing so they can walk around the cocktail party going, hey, that bit right there, yeah, that was this guy, you know, and just doing whatever the fuck they can. It's awful. And it's also the reason why great scripts are almost destined to die, even when they get greenlit, you know, in most cases. Anyway, so that was a big long ways to go, but
I don't know what we were talking about. Babylon's Fall.
Babylon's Fall. That's why Babylon's Fall has FF14 gear in it.